This is the first final of the day, being the Life 1 final. We're watching the Life 1 final featuring Caesar Chandigarh, aka the Scorpion, versus Joseph Kasozi, aka the Sharpshooter. These two have had an exciting journey to get to this point. The Life 2 finals will feature Kelvin Kandu, aka Fikati from Zambia, versus Aiden Joseph from South Africa. That's the Ghost. Whoever wins between these two will get to meet the winner between Aiden and Kelvin for the grand final, for that grand prize of 6,000 US dollars. It's been quite a journey for these two. They've beaten lots of top players on their way to this stage. Caesar Chandigarh yesterday for this Life beat Family Man 9-3, then Bibido 9-3 again, then beat Sif Hamad 9-7, then Pakanati 9-0, and now he's in the final of this particular Life. Kasozi Joseph, on the other hand, beat Maluva in the first round 9-5. Second round, he beat Pila Mazambane 9-7. Then the following round, he beat Calvin Fikati 9-5. And thereafter beat Ian Kazibwe. And now he gets to play in the grand final. Sorry, actually the Life 1 final. This is not yet the grand final. The grand final will be played by whoever wins this encounter versus whoever wins the encounter between Aiden and Calvin. Frame number 2 in progress here. Caesar shooting away, facing 4 remaining balls. Joseph Kasozi, by the way, is seed number 1 in Uganda. According to the official ratings, although according to fans' ratings, it may be a different story. Yes, I've come across many different kinds of ratings when it comes to unofficial ratings, the fans' ratings. But officially, in Uganda, Kasozi is a seed number 1. 3 reds remain here for Caesar, as he looks to call it a wrap and grab his first frame to equalize to make it 1-1. Ooh, lovely spin there of the cue ball. Nice right English. Now faces the last center ball before the black, which wouldn't be too difficult for him. Well done there on that beautiful clearance, Caesar. 1-1 is the score now. Our referee Penelope Moyes is racking the balls, preparing for frame number 3. Everything is lit right here. Everything is on point, from the venue, the organization, the equipment, high-tech technology, the referees, the fans, and definitely the players too. Thank you all for your delightful company. It's been an awesome 2 days, the second edition of the Patriarchs Pool Tournament. Kasozi Joseph shooting away here. 2-1 is a scoreline, Caesar to the good. Kasozi has given a very good account of himself as far as this tournament is concerned. So far, he's performed better than all the other players, going the furthest in terms of, if we look at both of his lives. He managed to make it to the quarterfinals for both his lives. In the one life, he bowed out to the quarterfinals of the tournament, and in this life, he's in the semifinals of the tournament. Season Chandigarh also putting up a good show of his own. Awesome shots, awesome display, awesome talent right now. A bit of a slow-paced frame this one is, this particular one. A few problem balls here. He needs to think hard. He's going to bank that to center or maybe just further develop it a little. There's that little cluster with the 2 yellows and 2 reds there at the corner pocket that's making life a little more complicated. That's a very good cut there. Very good cut. And now that red closest to the cue ball. He could possibly maybe try and overtake the 1 yellow, but it's not possible to pot it from there in that particular pocket. I think that's where the whole game lies at the minute. That pocket at the bottom right corner of your screens. Oh, what a shot. Potting the 1 yellow and opening up for the other yellow. And I think he's good to go. He's set to cruise on. What a shot. Very good imagination he has there. I like the way they think. I like the way they map out. Nice spin there. Now down to the last 3 yellows. I think this may just as well be a wrap. Current scoreline is 2-2. Caesar Chandigarh, aka the Scorpion, versus Kasozi Joseph, aka the Sharpshooter. Kasozi Joseph is really giving Caesar a run for the money, and vice versa as well. Care to share some of your predictions in the comment section? Who do you think will emerge the winner? What will the final scoreline be at the end of the starts between Caesar and Kasozi? Who will emerge victorious and book himself a slot in the grand final? Whoever wins this will get to face it off against either Aiden or Calvin. They're also playing on another table, trying to determine the winner for that and book themselves a slot in the grand final. 2-1, last yellow remaining for Caesar. I think one good drawback, bottom left, will make good position for the black there, and he should be home and dry. Okay, just checking out some of the predictions in the comment section. Ongus Killian predicting 9-6 to Caesar. Tetenda Mupasa 9-5 to Caesar. Persuade Matambo predicting 9-8 to Kasozi. Ayabako Domba predicting 9-8 to Caesar. Ephraim Nimba predicting 9-7 to Caesar. Innocent Sisengwe says 9-7 to Caesar. Alright, Clive Kamupala 9-7 to Caesar. Most predictions so far are predicting a Caesar win. Papa Shepi is predicting 9-8 to Caesar. Chida Anash is asking how many deciding games left for this table. Basically, this is the Life 1 final, and happening currently is the Life 2 final that's between Aiden and Calvin. So thereafter, after this, whoever wins this will get to play the grand final versus either Aiden or Calvin. So there's basically one more round, and that grand final will be played in this same table, while third and fourth match playoff happens at the same time. Asha Mulind was saying Caesar to win 9-5. Nyaradzi Nyadet is predicting 9-5 in favor of Caesar. AK Donald Gazimbi, no, Maluva is no longer in. We only have 4 men left standing. These two, Caesar and Joseph Kasozi, as well as Aiden and Kelvin. My good friend Peter and fellow commentator, what are your predictions? These two are your fellow countrymen. So, yeah, it could go either way in terms of a prediction here.
First of all,
think.
Very, irrespective of the outcome of this match, whether or not I may predict right or wrong, it can go either way. The happier part of it is that the fact that I'm able to commentate alongside yourself for the first time in quite a while. Maybe the last time this happened was at Queen's in Blawayo, as early as April. First of all, let's first discuss outside pool. Congratulations. Congratulations. No, they know.
Thank you.
They know that you are a mother again for to a beautiful kid that I've seen, whom you taught how to eat ensenene, grasshoppers, a delicacy in Uganda. Yes, thank you for standing strong also amidst what has been going on. I'm just so happy that you look strong despite the challenges. That's what life is about at the end of the day. It's about ups and downs. And now this tournament is a breath of fresh air to you. Thank you for keeping around, and the pool fraternity love you so much. Every time I commented, they ask me sometimes inbox, when are you having Vari back on the stream? So today is the day, guys. The golden voice of pool is back. Now we can go on with other stuff. You're asking me who I think will win.
Yes, who do you think will win? And thank you for the congratulatory messages. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty well now. My injuries were not too severe, so I'm doing good, as you can see. I'm fit. I'm in one piece. Yes, who do you think will win? What is your prediction? What will the final scoreline be, according to what you think?
Now, these two guys have faced each other a big number of times. For Kasozi, he has defeated Caesar thrice in tournaments organized by the Pool Association of Uganda. That's in the space of the last 3 years, one time each year, including 2023, 24, and 25 this year. However, just 2 days ago, the two faced off in a tournament of the Pool Association of Uganda, the biggest of them all, the car comp. They were together in the semi-finals at one time. The match was at 5-4, with Caesar leading. Close it was before, of course, Kasozi missing a would-be critical ball and Caesar walking away with the match. He won that semi-final, and then the rest is history. In non-official tournaments in Uganda, Caesar has had a big lion's share. If I'm not mistaken, he has won 7 and has lost once. But the once is also a little recent. In the space of the last 3 weeks, they faced in a final that was organized in a comp in Kampala at Kasba. And Kasozi won that final relatively comfortably by 7 frames to 2 against Caesar. So that there goes the matchup between them. They faced off again once in a money match for $1,200 racing to 21. It was won by Caesar relatively comfortably by 21 frames to 20. So when you go by history, when you go by the recent trajectory of results in the last 2-3 years, Caesar could start off as some kind of favorite in the match. That doesn't take away anything away from Kasozi. This is one of the biggest matches of his career. Maybe it ranks among the top 3, to say the least. He has been doing so well in the country. Outside of Uganda, he has only gotten one big result to speak of. He was the first runner-up at the Commonwealth Billiards Championship, a tournament that had players from 30 countries from within the Commonwealth, and he missed South Africa's Nzwana Kwabi in that final, which was won by Nzwana Kasozi, coming second in a very, very respectable result that doesn't really come with money, but the fact that a major medal in the Commonwealth Games, because pool is nowadays a Commonwealth sport. Then there is a comp where he came second in Kenya. That one was only for Kenyans and Ugandans in just after the resumption of pool after COVID in 2021. Outside of that, outside Uganda, he has been a shadow of himself. So good and respected in the country. Outside the country's borders, he hasn't been good. But he has been one of the best players in the competition. He took both lives, at least to the semi-finals, and won to the final. He's the most fatigued player in the competition. Nonetheless, he still survives. He can't take down Caesar, just that Caesar is Caesar and does start as a favorite. So that 4 frames to 2 lead by the Scorpion is some little summary of most of the matches that these guys have been taking on each other. They have a lot of respect for one another. They are friends in real life. Their matches on the pool tables are very competitive, but they remain with the humility in front of one another and a lot of respect. However, sometime early this year, Kasozi told me that while I like Caesar, he has beaten me a number of times. I want to beat him in a tournament that really matters. He got that chance, Kasozi, on Sunday, that car competition in the semi-finals. He fought, the fight wasn't strong enough, he lost the match. Now, another chance is here, but he's already down, needing to win 7. Caesar needs to win just 5. Just like that, it's 11 frames to go. There goes the break by Kasozi. By the way, this match is live on 2 platforms, a Facebook stream on Emmanuel Makandiwa. So proud that as a pool fraternity we have such an influential character in real life, in faith, having pool as his favorite sport, and he's sponsoring a competition this big. It's also live on my YouTube channel, that is Peter Chobe Live. Of course, mindful that in my home country Uganda, Facebook is illegal. Although many of you like to watch on Facebook, you will get issues one day. The guy you're looking at is for a reason called the sharpshooter, with such big ability to put balls on target, most of the time with power. Now we're on. The guy on table now is called the sharpshooter. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm streaming the Prophet's comp on the Prophet's channel outside pool, I will be telling you another reason as to why he's called the sharpshooter. Don't say that I said that. What I'm now saying is that Kasozi is seemingly on the verge of winning another, a 3rd out of 7. Black, does it have passage? Yes, it does. The match is alive. The sharpshooter responds to Caesar the best way a response can be made, winning a frame, and with 1 visit of the table, making it a close contest between the two. Believe you me, the winner of this match is assured 4,000 US dollars. As in 1, 2, 3, 4,000 US dollars. None of these players has gotten that money for only a day's action. Okay, Caesar at the Grand Mchana in 2024, he got a little more than that. It was 6,000 US dollars, but winning this match assures each of them at least 2nd position, which comes with 4,000 US dollars. That is the prize for the victory. As for Kasozi, he's already richer by 1,500. The 1,000 he has for being in this match, and the 500 for reaching the semi-final in his 2nd life, but wants to make it better, taking Special thanks to all of the technical team that is having this excellent production of a sport that is really growing. For us that have been around the game for all these years, we don't take it for granted for the fact that a person like Prophet Makandiwa can have interest in having this competition. I got that very rare chance of having a minute with him when he asked for it. And he told me how much he loves the game, how much he loves these Ugandan players, watches them when he's not in church. He plays the game. He also liked the fact that I at one time told Francis when I beat him in a man match that he learned why a chicken drinks water but never urinates. That made him laugh, although he mentioned it by himself. I'm also looking forward to what he told me, that before you go, come and see me. As much as Caesar is looking forward to responding to Kasozi's frame with another frame of Caesar's own, he's trying to make the final of a major competition 4 consecutive times. He was in the final and he won it at Billiards Cafe in Lusaka 3 weeks ago. He was in the final at Q Masters in Tanzania 2 weeks ago. He was in the final in the car competition in Kampala 2 days ago. 2 days later, he needs to win 5 more frames to make it yet another final. To smile all the way to the bank yet again. To make himself happy. To make his country happy. To make Team the Scorpion happy. To make the Advanced Talent Agency happy. Now needing to put yellow to the corner pocket bottom, black to the corresponding right corner pocket for him to record a 5th in the match and buy break and finish. Looking to take down his friend and international teammate Caesar wins frame number 8. It's now Caesar 5 and Kasozi 3.
You know, Peter, I just realized you're very sneaky. You successfully managed to distract me and made me forget I'd actually asked you a question, which you avoided very artistically.
I wanted to be safe. I don't want to overcommit myself that this guy is going to win, because I've streamed.
Oh, so you know you avoided the question.
I've streamed 5 matches where Kasozi has defeated Caesar, but I streamed about 10 others where Caesar has won. So no shade of a doubt, each one of them is capable of taking down the other. It's just that the stakes this time are too much. This game is so meaningful. This competition is so special. Whoever is watching it, Facebook or YouTube, wherever they're watching from, they will agree with me that winning this one will be so special.
Okay, so in other words, you're not going to give me a prediction. I'm not getting a prediction from you as to who you think will win or what the final scoreline will be. I will
use all the words not to say this player or that one is winning. But at the end of the day, we shall enjoy this game. Then after look forward to a final between either the Josephs. There are 2 Josephs, that is Aiden and Kasozi. Then there is Caesar, then there is Kelvin. It can be anybody's tournament, it can be anybody's tournament, but what is even more important is the fact that we are having a blast. Players are happy. Every player has told me secretly that they are participating in the best ever organized tournament they have on the African continent. It's so special. Everything, the hospitality of the Zimbabwean people, the care given to the players, how good they are being accommodated and fed and kept around the area to ensure that everybody is safe. They're making sure that within the enclosure that they are, everything they need, including internet, including food, including access, including name it, they have it, and all free, just such that they don't need to move within town where it may not be safe. So the prophet is just ensuring that everybody is safe. Thereafter, he's going to host them to a dinner. He eats with them. Of course, they sing happy birthday to him. And that will be it. Tomorrow, people will be checking out. But this tournament will live long in our memories. Everybody who is involved in some kind of way, I know that including the fans, they will never forget what they are seeing here.
Indeed, this is very memorable. Last year's one was very memorable. The first edition of the PPT tournament, the Patriots Pool tournament. You were not there for that one, but I found it very memorable, and I did not foresee them managing to surpass that standard. But hey, look at this. Look at it now. It's bigger and better, from the quality of the players themselves and to the quality of, I mean, the organization is just as good as it was, but I mean, it's just quality everything, and now it's just gone all out, bigger and better, from the prize part, the players and everything. It's just such a marvel to watch. Africa's talent, Africa's best talent, showcasing their skills here. I wish I could play like them.
By the way, you're a good player. Okay, I realized that when I played some games with you some time back. You were a good player, most especially when you represent Zimbabwe's national pool team. You were a big miss in some of the comps that have been played during there, but I know that starting this coming year, you are hoped to be seen on the pool tables in Nairobi as well as Bulawayo, the next two ladies comps coming up. But now it is a men's comp. The Scorpion starting to slowly but steadily run away with the first life final against a friend and countrymate. For him, it will not matter. He sinks in the octagon again to increase his lead with a chanting crowd. It is Caesar now 6 and Joseph Kasozi 3. Seems like umpire Moyo has granted Joseph Kasozi his 3-minute timeout, of course, to go refreshing. Maybe the fatigue of taking 2 lives to the final and semi-finals catching up with him. 6-3. He can only go refresh himself, reflect how he's been playing, his mistakes, his misses, his breaks, everything. Hopefully to come back and use the timeout also to try and cool down Caesar's engine that has been really running strong. Timeout for Kasozi Joseph for now. Caesar Chandiga 6 and Joseph Kasozi 3.
Okay, timeout is done. Just to give a big shout out to our sponsors who've helped to make this event what it is. They've done a lot and put in a lot of work as well. That's Takura Meats, The Torrent, Bestie Home, Pizza Hut, Market Force, Molash, Platinum Entertainment, Wellness Medicals, Barco Consultancy, Advanced Talent Agency, Fast Cred Financial Services, Nefsan Select, and La Classe Boutique. And back to the action. Current scoreline is 6-3, Caesar to the good. Basically, from here on out, Caesar now needs 3, and Kasozi needs a 6. So basically, Caesar needs what Kasozi has, and Kasozi needs what Caesar has. I think it's still possible for him to engage a handbrake, but Caesar's looking to be in fine form. He's going to really have to bring his A game. That's Joseph Kasozi, that is, in order to stop Caesar in his tracks. A lovely cue ball manipulation there. And now he faces the black, looking to record a 4th frame under his belt, and that he does. 6-4 it is. 10 frames out of a possible 17. It's a race to 9 or best of 17. May the best man win.
It's one of those times where there can be unity in diversity. Unity, speaking of fans who are supporting the players from the same country, but diversified because it is different players from 2 different management teams, also 2 different pool clubs. Of course, in terms of management, Caesar under the Advanced Talent Agency, Kasozi under the Roxbury management. If he does win this match, Kasozi will create some kind of party at Roxbury. I know they are watching this match on giant screen. I know they are emptying all those bottles, quenching their thirst, hoping that one of the team leaders makes them happy. Unfortunately, he shakes his head in disbelief after a scratch on the break. After winning the first frame on timing, it is advantage Caesar. It is 5-5 between the second final between Kelvin and Aiden. That one can be anyone's game. If it does happen, could very easily be the best result in Kelvin's career. If Kasozi can come back against Caesar, it can quite easily be as well the best in his career as well. With due respect to all the local comps he has been winning, also coming second in the Commonwealth Billiards Championships. This one will be a little too special from 2 players that haven't rested from playing pool non-stop all day for 3 days, including travel thousands of kilometers away. This is Caesar going for yet another to increase his lead, to make it more likely to put one leg into the grand final, to look forward to maybe a clash with either Aiden or Kelvin again. The Scorpion benefits from a dry break from Kasozi as the Prophet salutes that performance. It is now Caesar 7 and Kasozi 4, with the Scorpion needing to win 2, the Sharpshooter needing to win 5 out of the remaining 6. Center of attraction here in Harare. A world-class venue, world-class pool tables, world-class cue balls and object balls, and the entire environment. Also, a very respectful and disciplined fan base who only cheer their favorite players when they perform. When shots are being played, they like to go dead silent. Of course, a little bit understandable. The majority of them are members of the Emmanuel Makandiwa congregation. As Caesar aims for the pyramid, hitting the red ball, breaking hard. Could be dry, Never dry whatsoever. He has gotten to pot 2 yellows. Kasozi can only wait and watch and pray, shaking his head, hoping for an opportunity. Maybe coming through the chance of Caesar not potting on the table closing shot. Maybe for the fact that the yellows are fewer, but almost impossible for Caesar to pot any of them. That's why he's going for the reds with a full body stretch, potting a distant red, getting it in and closing the table. The Scorpion is playing reds. Robert Sekauna asking who took away Joseph Kasozi's other life. It was Kelvin in the second life semi-final. In that match, Kasozi assured himself of $500 even for the defeat. He could get it more if he wins a third place match, and I'm assuming if he plays it after losing this ongoing match. That is only if he doesn't win against Caesar. If he wins against Caesar, it becomes now $4,000 for the win and the $500 for that place in the second life. As for Caesar, the 4K will come if he can win 2 more, and yet it's looking like the one is starting to get in the bag for the guy that has now won 14 comps this year in a multitude of cities, from Kampala to Lusaka, a 16-man comp, to Dar es Salaam, a pre-tournament comp, back to Kampala for the car comp, then to Arusha for the Q Masters second edition. Now in Harare, the Scorpion looks set to win yet another frame, to come within one of the victory, to make it likely that this match will make him $4,000 richer. Although he has already won a lot more than that in the space of the last weeks, he gets to miss. It would be very critical ball advantage to the sharpshooter. By the way, misses like that sometimes could be the turning points of such frames. When you see an opportunity you don't see coming, it gets granted by in unexpected circumstances. It could turn the match around. If Caesar went 8 frames to 4 up, you think Kasozi will be fighting a lost battle. But if it were 7 frames to 5, it can be anyone's game. With Kasozi now on 2 yellows, one of them positioned tricky, yet it's the only one he has in full sight. Has got to make sure the pot is not that obvious. He must either pot or at least play safe. Kelvin Fikoti 6, Aiden Joseph 5. As Kasozi plays to effect a safety, and not safe enough though. From this beautiful camera angle, looks like Caesar has sight of one of the reds. Oops, maybe not. Maybe the camera angle was a little deceptive. Playing off the cushion and finding one of the reds is one thing, potting it is something different altogether. And yet what we'll do is, if he pots or plays the cue ball distant to be safe enough, he finds the red, but not safe is the Scorpion. Another advantage to Kasozi. Wanting to play the yellow that is rightwards of the 2 firsts. Cue ball was intended to be played off the cushion around the other yellow, but even this will work. From the position of play, you will call this one a frame done and dusted for Caesar. He will be regretting a time when he missed, when he really shouldn't have. For Kasozi, an opportunity to win yet another, to come within 2 frames of Caesar as he wins frame number 13. It's now Joseph Kasozi 5 amidst a round of applause, and Caesar Chandiga 7. Do you think the sharpshooter will successfully mount a comeback, Priscilla?
Of all the games I've seen him play in the past, in the last couple of years, I think this is the best display I've seen of him. There may be other times he's played better than this, but of what I've seen from Kasozi, this for me is his best display, the best display thus far. And I believe he's never come this far in an international competition before. He's never performed this well. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's never performed this well in an international competition.
Best he has ever performed outside of his country, irrespective of what happens in this match and another. He will have either the grand final or the third place match.
Yeah, so just having that in mind and just seeing the type of shots he's been delivering. If it wasn't for that, the fact that he's really been playing very, very well, I may have just said Caesar will probably be the obvious winner. But now, I like to swallow my words. I think there is a chance for him. Yes, Caesar has slight advantage at the moment by virtue of him being the leading player right now. I see Kasozi shaking his head there. Very disappointed in himself, I guess, because of the foul. Anyway, Caesar is leading. But that's not to take away any hope from Kasozi. Kasozi can still stage a comeback. He can still engage a handbrake. Although that's going to be a difficult thing to achieve. A very tall order against the Mighty Scorpion. But you never know. And right now, it's further advantage to Caesar by virtue of him having a free shot on the visit right now. He has plenty options right now, and we could just very well see this becoming 8-5 at the end of this visit by Caesar, and then it becomes a lot harder for Kasozi Joseph to stage a comeback. So at the moment, chances are higher, the probability is higher for Caesar to be the winner of this Life 1. Kasozi scratching his head. He seems very stressed. He seems to be one of those players, usually, that openly shows his feelings. I was actually watching him online, the semi-final between him and Caesar, 3 nights ago, when you guys were still in Kampala. The night before you came, I was watching him online. His eyes looked bloodshot at some point. He looked like he was about to burst into tears, and he looked very visibly disappointed in himself. I think his expressions are very telling. Very telling. You can easily read him, easily kind of feel what he's feeling or get a read on what he's feeling. Unlike some players, you can never tell whether they feel good or bad. They remain expressionless. I can't say the same for Caesar, though. Caesar doesn't show much of his emotions or feelings or what he's feeling at the moment as compared to Joseph Kasozi. I think Caesar doesn't really show much emotion. Is that right?
The one time that I've really seen too much emotion in him, maybe it was also due to age when he first played 3 years ago, that money match with Aiden. For him, it was not about winning the money, it was just about the victory of the match, because he got a lot more from tips than the 2,000 US dollars that he lost in the game. But it's the first time that I saw him shed a tear. He cried for a lot of time. It's the reason why he followed Aiden all the way up to Nairobi. Then the second times, 2 of them are the 2 times that he has won Uganda's car competition. I saw him visibly dancing together with his very, very cheerleading fans. Also, I remember the dance that was joined by his wife, Mercy, Zambian, who came to Kampala. Caesar flew him into the country simply to watch the match. I saw Caesar in an outburst of positive emotion after victory. Now, it could be the same emotion, though not visible, if he can win this frame, because it will take him within just 1. And the victory of the frame has been secured. The Scorpion is on 8. The Sharpshooter is on 5. It is now 4 frames to go. Disappointed and head nodding Joseph Kasozi must win them all, or else succumb to playing a 3rd place match against either his namesake Joseph Aiden or Kelvin Fikoti in what will be the 3rd match between the 2 in the competition if Kelvin and Joseph both lose. Freedom Chakanyoka is asking if this one is a final. Yes, depending on the explanation, this one is a double life competition. Double life events have 2 finals. There is one side of the chart which has its own final, and another side. So we're having 2 finals both being played at the same time. There is one final happening on Key Pixels photography between Aiden Joseph and Kelvin Fikoti. There is this final between the Ugandan duo of Caesar Chandiga and Joseph Kasozi. There is always a likelihood that there could be one player winning both sides of the chart. If it ever happens in a double life competition, then we don't have a grand final. But now that no player is involved with 2 lives, we are assured of a grand final. that will be coming up, maybe between Caesar because he's on the verge, and the winner of the match between Kelvin and Aiden. That one we shall be getting updates of. But the news is that this current visit of the table by the Ugandan Scorpion is seeing him with a chance to make it into a fourth major final out of 4 major competitions he has been playing in the space of the last 3 weeks. Clearly, the most informed player now on the continent, going by the results that have been happening of late. I have not seen an African player winning 3 major African comps in a row. Jerry has done it twice, winning 2 in a row. Aiden has won 2 in a row. Caesar has won 3 in a row. Sorry, Caesar has won 2 in a row now. This one is the 3rd. There's a big risk of that record being shaken by the Scorpion. He's on the verge of making it into the grand final, where he stands a chance of taking on either Kelvin or Aiden. In that one, Kelvin is now leading slightly, as Kasozi looks now frustrated, knowing that his fears may be coming to a first life final actualization. Taking his time, having sight of 2 of the reds, contemplating in between which he should play first, going for the one which is now rightwards of them all, potting it, having a cue ball bounce off the right cushion, bringing it back into space. Again, contemplating which of the 2 left he will want to play first, going for the one to the side pocket bottom, playing it with a little back spin, guiding it a little closer to the remaining red on the table. The Scorpion looks to be poised to make the grand final now, just needing to pot black with pinpoint accuracy in terms of manipulation of the cue ball. The cut between white and black is okay. As long as he rolls it, the cue ball will be safe. Wanting to pot black is the Scorpion to the corner pocket bottom right for him to record his name in the grand final, and there he does. The Prophet is contented with the performance of one of the players he really hoped to see. The Scorpion makes it into the grand final after fighting from defeat to Aiden in the second life. His first life had already inflicted enough pain, setting up a final against Joseph Kasozi, which final he has won by 9 frames to 6. He will await for the match between Kelvin and Aiden to know his grand final opponent. Otherwise, the news for now is that the Scorpion is $4,000 richer after making it into the grand final, defeating his friend and international teammate Joseph Kasozi. Thank you for watching. For now, happy birthday, Prophet Makandiwa.
Results from first live final. Caesar Chandiga won by 9-5 against Joseph Kasozi. So now we are waiting for another finalist from second live final that is currently underway between Eden Joseph and Kelvin Fikoti.